Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about all my cars and trucks, SUVs, motorcycles, dogs, all the things, right? Just whatever we can kind of keep the entertainment going. I don't know, but hey, everybody, hope it is. Hey, thanks for watching my channel. Appreciate all the nice comments and support. Share the channel. And it's always about getting creative to talk about something related to the cars, the trucks, the motorcycles, whatever it may be. And sometimes that's challenging because it takes a lot of detail, a lot of information, a lot of time for me to kind of say what would entertain or intrigue somebody to watch my channel today. And you know what? I thought the word of the day could be detail. I spent last night detailing my vehicles, and I thought, wow, there we go. Have I done a detailed conversation? And for the most part, I don't think I have. And detail can be vague and broad. And wow, what a beautiful, just incredibly beautiful morning here. Virginia, Maryland, D.C. area, and it's the end of October. Hard to believe it. The leaves are changing, but it's just incredibly still nice out. It's going to be 70s, so it's just a really beautiful time of year. And I'm kind of hanging out next to my wife's car here, so I thought, you know what, I would kind of just show off on how I think the Jeep product, attention to detail, and just really luxurious look that this car radiates. I just thought I'd kind of stop here for a second and show you. I love the interior, massaging seats, seats extend, adaptive cruise control, night vision. I mean, this thing has just a really, really nice setup in this Grand Cherokee L. It's the long edition because you have a Grand Cherokee non-L, which is a shorter edition, and I think this is the first edition. It's a Summit package, the highest end of the Jeep Grand Cherokee you can get. And then over here, I've got the Jeep Grand Wagoneer, and it's very similar on the interior and amenities and luxurious luxury. Doesn't have nighttime vision, which I wish it did. So, and that has the inline 6 motor, and this has that's the inline 6 twin turbo Hurricane motor. This has the V8 5.7 good old Hemi motor, which that's not common in these Grand Cherokees. That is a very small percentage of sales. And so yeah, let's get over to the barn, get the morning going, and like I say, it's just a beautiful morning. You know, it seems some days when I walk my driveway, it's like, where'd all the cars go? I mean, in so many ways, it seems like, yeah, it's hard to believe, but I used to have this driveway fuller than it is. If you ever watch videos, I've had actually more cars. Hard to believe that I actually have less cars, but I still have a lot of cars. So let's get over here and talk about the details. Yesterday, I spent a lot of time talking about the Monroney sticker, and that was a lot of attention to detail if you watch that video. And if you look here, here's my collection of Ford trucks. Used to have a few Ram trucks, Jeep truck. One of my favorite subscribers, he always likes to kind of jab me in a fun way. He's like, hey, you better, I think it's Army Retired there. Hope you're doing well today. Watch my video if you are. But he's saying, hey, you better drive that Power Boost before the tires go square on it. And I'm like, yeah, laugh. We're both laughing. And yes, in so many aspects, I do need to drive it. But what so many of those that watch my channel sometimes may not realize, I put a lot of miles on that vehicle very quickly. That vehicle has like 7,000 or 8,000 miles on it. I'm like, I just don't want to run the thing in the ground. So I parked it. And that F-250 Tremor, this thing over here, that thing has like 40,000 miles on it. The Lightning has like 20,000 miles on it. This thing here has like 8,000 miles on it. The Jeep, the Super Duty truck there, that's up to I think about 10. And inside the shop here, I'm talking about attention to detail, right? Here is the Plum Crazy. I always want to say the Plum Crazy Hellcat. In so many aspects, many people would believe it is a Hellcat. So here's the Plum Crazy. I spent the evening cleaning this, but I really spent the evening taking on the Ford Bronco Raptor and getting this all cleaned up. So let's get the dogs in the office so we can talk about our detailed conversations for the Thursday. Get the morning going, get the day going. Come on, pups. And share my detailed ideas, views, experiences, whatever you want to say here. I just like to share what I own, and I'm very blessed and very fortunate. But I'm a crazy man. I'll just tell you what, this is extremely challenging for me as a person to be able to have all this stuff. If anybody thinks that this is a cakewalk, you have no idea. You know, everything, somebody else is richer than them, and I'm not a rich guy. I'm a crazy guy. I keep on telling people that. I would be a very rich person if I didn't own these cars, because these are not cheap. And what's going to happen to this? I don't know. Kind of some things in the back end. I don't know. I don't think anything's going to change on this here, but that may be another day, another conversation. So last night, let me get my coffee here as you look around the shop. The Bronco was the first one that got a bath in quite a while. I'm so sick of cleaning cars. Do you know how many times I've cleaned cars? I'm sick of it. It takes so much. But here's the thing. It's all about the detail. What is it about the vehicles that you open up a car and your instant impression? That's what happens on individuals that really just love cars. Is it too plastic? Is it gaudy? You know, it's really incredible. I had the Ford Bronco Raptor Cactus Gray Edition, where it had the actually blue combination seats, the suede like blue sport seats. You know, I actually just like the look of this vehicle. I actually like this vehicle more so than I did the Cactus Gray, even though it's even hard for me to even believe that and say that. But here in the Bronco, if you look here, you know, here's the little Raptor emblem here. You got the little, like the neat insert to the hood. You've got the fender vents, which gives it some character. And when the Ford Bronco Raptor was first released, I think many thought it's gaudy because it has these big ass flares. And even for me, I was like, I don't really know if I like this type of look of car. I didn't want to focus on it because I knew that then if I got focused on it, I'd want to get it. But I just bought my Broncos, and I just wanted to kind of ignore it. Somewhere around here, oh, here it is. So look here. Here is your different generation of your Broncos. Need to clean that area there, don't I? So isn't that pretty neat? So there's little things in these cars that the manufacturers sometimes, here's the Raptor badge, that they hide these little things. There's the Bronco, okay? The Bronco Raptor has different real lights. So when you buy the Bronco, there's so many different packages you buy, but when you go to the Raptor, you're getting the little wider suspension, bigger tires, you're getting the fender flares, bigger motor, you're getting different LED rear lights. So there's just a lot of things that if you're not really the car enthusiast, you're getting the vented side fender things. But if you look at the fit and finish, I think overall Ford did a respectable job of this product, because a lot of the complaints on these cars, like we jump over here to the Dodge Charger Plum Crazy, you'll start getting the attention to detail on how like the hood alignment isn't correct from like one side to the other side, and that's usually the domestic complaint. When you go to the foreign cars, so many people feel like the foreign cars are built better. They're quality built cars because they just have the fit and finish that set them apart from the domestic. And you know, years ago, I truly would 100% agree with that. Now, as time has progressed, and there's so much sharing of the worldwide automotive assembly, I think the domestic side has done a really good job overall of putting together the cars that look pretty good. Now here, we talk about the Dodge Charger. The original Dodge Charger didn't have these wide, they call it the wide body, the fender flares. And there's some people out there that do not like that look. And I talked about it before. You have a narrow body. Well, the wide body fender flares give you the opportunity to give a little bigger tire and wheel package on the car. It gives it, to me, a little more of a meaner stance. The Dodge Demon was really the car in 2018 that brought the wide body flare kit to the Dodge Challenger. So the Dodge Challenger was the first 2018 factory flares on the car, wider wheels and tires, that then opened the door for 2019 for you to order a car with what they call the wide body package. That gives you a little bit more of a, I feel, a more aggressive, really cool looking car. So, but for some out there, they don't like it. It looks gaudy to them. If you're really a Hellcat person, they changed up the hood. So the hood used to be just one snorkel, not two snorkels. So in 2018 to 2019, when they went to the red eye, so if you bought the red eye, you got the two snorkel hood, and I believe, I could be wrong on this, the non-red eye motor got the one snorkel. And so some people were like, they liked it, didn't like it. The headlight assembly here is actually a hole for your air intake, okay? The hood pins. You go over here to the Dodge Charger again. This actually has just the one hood scoop, insert, whatever you want to call it, look to it, and that's been the same. They haven't changed that out. They've changed the style of the grille out of 2019 that had a little cooler looking front grille, I think, and that's a 2021. So 2020, it went back to that grille. If you look here, I believe that grille, for the most part, is exactly the same as now the 2023 Dodge Charger, I would think. I don't think they changed it. So I think for the most part, it's the same. If you see down here, you don't see a huge radiator behind that grill right there. You do over here. If you look here, this is for the supercharger, the intercooler, okay? And so you go to open the hood of this car here will look dramatically different from this other car because this has a supercharger on top of the motor, which is what helps build this thing's power, which makes this like an 800 horsepower car, versus over here, this car here doesn't have a supercharger, so it's a 485 horsepower motor. And I think many people have kind of seen the hoods of these cars. So, but you come up here, this has an open air box. This, to the degree, does it really have like a ram air in it? Here's that headlight, same thing. You have air coming through the front of the grille there. So, attention to detail. On this here, it doesn't, there's the red eye. It shows that. So see, technically, somebody could put a emblem on one of these cars and claim it's a red eye, but the Hellcat factory Hellcat logo has a red insert in there. And, you know, right over here, same thing. Okay, once again, somebody could claim that, hey, you know, I've got a red eye, because the red eye is basically not a total 100 horsepower more, but it goes from like 717 to like 808 or 797. You come over here to the interior, and we look at the interior of the Dodge Challenger, and this is the premium package. Interior, the real leather, I really like that. It has the memory seats here. It does not have the auto up feature. It makes no sense. Wow, it doesn't have an auto up feature. Power seats. I think that has power seats on that side as well. But a lot of these cars, you get them. I don't know. Maybe not on that. Come over here. This has what they call the performance spoiler. So that's an added, upgraded option. Versus they have like a narrower spoiler, kind of like similar to that over on the Charger. So you just kind of saw the interior of the Challenger. All right. Now, if you just walk up here to the Dodge Charger, what would the interior look? It's going to be the same interior. And believe it or not, it's the same amount of distance for a big person from the two-door to the four-door. See here, same exact interior. This does have the auto up. And so somebody may say, well, why is that? Okay, let's look at that door. Okay, it's all about the attention to detail. Now let's look at this door. Okay, there is no frame. So if you watch here, this little window goes up. Okay, now when you open it, it goes down a little bit. Okay, so they claim they don't have the auto up for some reason to deal with that. Once again, you just saw this is a frameless window. All right, now think this through. But when you come up here to the Dodge Charger, they designed this car with a frame. Okay, so they claim that this is why this has the auto up and down, but they can't do it on the Challenger. But I've had arguments with people. People think because this is the four-door, this has more room for a big guy. This is the exact same dimensions for a person to get in this car versus that car. The nice thing about this car is you got the nice big back seat. And, years ago it had a pass-through. I haven't even looked. No? So, you used to be able to push stuff through the trunk into there. So see, this would be more like the style of the regular Challenger rear spoiler. What else is different? The wheels. See, look at these wheels here. I believe the wheels on the Charger are the same. Or are they? No, they're not, even for me. So look at this wheel that goes more inside. This wheel comes more of an outside type of appearance. So totally different wheel. The tires are usually the same. The gentleman here that owned this, he put a rear set of drag radials on it like this car has over here. So wheels, totally different. I love this wheel and tire package. It looks really cool. The exhaust. This actually has like a black chrome exhaust tip. Now, one way you could tell a non-Hellcat Charger versus a Hellcat Charger was the rear tips of the exhaust would be black. And for the it wouldn't be black. So Hellcats have always had the black rear exhaust tips, and the non-Hellcats have had like the silver color. I think that kind of sums that up in so many aspects of that. So now we go over to like the details of the motorcycle, and I could go on and on about the Bronco. That's what I'm trying to explain this morning. Is this has the Fox shock system. This can get the wheel bead locks. I mean, there's so much attention to detail anymore. When you buy a car, you may be thinking you're getting something, but then the day, if you don't know about the product, you may realize that you didn't get what you thought you did. Because there's so many things you can do to a car today on adding detail and how you build it. And some people have been burned over the years thinking they bought a Hellcat Red Eye, or they thought they bought a Hellcat. I mean, there's stories out there of people totally getting smoked by some used car dealer lot that presented a car that somebody thought they were getting, but they didn't. So now, let's look at the Triumph here. The Triumph, I think this motorcycle is just so cool. To me, I feel like it gives detail of quality. I just feel like, even though, sure, you can kind of see maybe it's a little plastic, but I think overall, this motorcycle just radiates quality, nice detail, nice fit and finish. I did my own little pinstripe job on it. If anybody there wonders, this is not factory. I took it upon myself to do that, just to kind of give it a little different flair. But then when you go to the power on this bike, the detail gets some ways complicated, because these new little screens have so many areas for you to do different things that it's just like, wow, like there's different buttons here. And even for me, I mean, it just, it gets to be too much about what you can do and can't do. And So, but the whole point is, this bike can really get you detailed information like a car does, of the temperature of the engine, how many miles, it's just miles per gallon, what mode you're going to be riding in, So there's a lot, just a lot going on there for this motorcycle. For me, even for me being the guy that tries to be detailed about things, it sometimes can get confusing, which it does. But I was really kind of thinking this morning that would be pretty cool to talk about is the Triumph Pursuit. Pursuit, as many know, has a major steering wheel wobble. We're trying to resolve that, try to fix it. We're trying to figure out if we're going to end up having to have Indian buy that back. But here's something. I'm drinking my coffee, so sorry about that. But here's something that really was an eye-opener for my good friend Pete that works down there at Motorcycles of Dulles. He showed me something I didn't even know. So this is the Indian Challenger I bought June of last year. This thing sat in Tennessee a majority of the time. So I really haven't had a lot of exposure on this bike. But I've put 560 miles, really haven't ridden this bike a lot. I just have had mixed feelings if I try to cash out of it and get good money out of it. And, I'm just that person that's always like, well, what's my other availability? So this is what's interesting is Pete showed me, I showed you guys here last week that you have a shock preload and a fine tune. Indian says that maybe the front end shimmy is because of the bike not being set up correctly. And so here's what's really interesting is he went to an area that maybe I can even get to. I don't even know. Where you can go in and it actually has you set up the bike on the weights and everything else. So here it is, shock preload. Here it is. Okay, I never even knew this. Okay, so here's a whole other area where you just plug in. You're supposed to plug in what the rider weighs with gear, helmet, and then how much weight you're going to have. Okay. Well, apparently, and then this has no trunk, all right? Apparently, Indian says this is very important that you go to the shock preload where this motorcycle actually will then calibrate itself, okay? I mean, literally, this is a lot of technology in this bike with this electronic suspension. For those that are watching my channel, this motorcycle has an electronic rear shock that automatically adjusts to what I'm kind of showing you here on the different riding conditions that you're in, okay? Solo versus twin, so this shows you if you add a passenger. If you don't, heavy luggage, light luggage, all right? I never even knew that this even existed, okay? So, wow. So, here's the thing. For down there at the Motorcycles of Dulles, my friend, he truly thought that would be the ticket to the reason the motorcycle was getting the front, where the front steering shimmies and shakes. And no, that did not resolve the problem. Here is the Harley-Davidson motorcycle CVO 121. I tell you what, it's so very concerning. So, in so many aspects, just really disappointed. I mean, I really am that I have bought a motorcycle that Harley-Davidson, I think, has totally made a huge mistake. And it's so bad because this is such, in my opinion, the nicest Harley-Davidson CVO product that they brought to the market. The attention to detail, I think that the Harley-Davidson just kind of gives more of the fun factor, sporty, muscle, exhaust note. There's just so many things that I feel like this motorcycle has over the Indian, even though Indian's a nice motorcycle. But I just love the Harley new CVO. But here's what's so disappointing, is the flooding of the product in the market. Dark, platinum, these things are everywhere. But before we kind of get into that, but here, look at this here, the new CVO, some other CVOs in my trailer. The other CVO I have, Road Glide 2021, it's all leather. This here is in some ways debatable because of the way this, here is your suede, all right? Here's your whole new infotainment center, which gives you lots and lots of information. I mean, it's just like, wow. Sometimes too much information. And where do we even go? I mean, since I'm not in these bike all the time, I mean, you know, it's just me sitting here trying to show you all this technology when I got to refresh my own brain to be able to even know what goes on, and that's challenging. When I jump from motorcycle to motorcycle, from car to car, it's just like what button, what feature. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, because it's so much technology in these cars anymore and motorcycles that the detail to them to retain every bit of it is just very, in so many ways, challenging. But that's the thing that I like for me as I progress in life is I get the opportunity to see and witness and own these things. And I really know what's going on in the market more so. And I really feel like I can tell people what I feel is the better ride for you. And I talk to people, the Harley Davidson product, in so many ways, just a badass motorcycle. But the Indian product is so refined. Yeah, it's in so many ways, it's a better motorcycle than the Harley. But in so many ways, the Harley is just more fun, more muscle, and better dealer infrastructure. You go over here, the Harley Davidson Lowrider ST. Anybody reached out to me and said Lowrider versus the Indian Sport Chief, I'm going to tell you the Harley Davidson Lowrider. It looks just so, I think it looks just so badass. I love the look of that bike. Love the exhaust, the way the engines sound, and once again, the attention to detail. And that's what it all comes down to. For everybody here that's watching my channel, I think all of us on that attention to detail. What makes you like, wow, that's just such a really neat car that I really want. You're like, not so much. Like some people here, I think it'd be like, that Plum Crazy is just really cool. Love it. I think some others would be like, I do not like to look at that car for anything in the world. I get it. The Ford Bronco Raptor. I think some people like those big fender flares make it look gaudy. I just want nothing to do with that look of a vehicle. You go outside here, and for me, the main thing that drove me to buy this Ford F-250 truck here was I was very abreast to the Carli suspension because I've had a bunch of F-250 Tremors, F-350, F-250, F-150, and when I saw the guy that owned this truck put a Carli suspension underneath the front of this thing, I was instantly like, I want this truck because that's money. That's real money. Now in the back, it's so weird. I've talked about it before. This guy was a roofing contractor. I can just tell by how the bed's all beat up and everything. And on the back, this guy went for the Deaver rear 1-ton suspension springs. So it's kind of weird in how in the back end, he was more fixated on trying to make this thing a 1-ton truck. But on the front end, he was trying to make this thing more of an off-road beast. I just don't understand kind of how he did that. But hey, it's all good. I like how he lifted it. I love how he put the bigger tires and wheels on it. I just really do like this truck. And if you watch my channel, I changed out the regular ugly running boards, and I put on the e-boards with that rough country, which I highly recommend you buy those. They're close to $1,000 cheaper than the AMP boards, and they're just every bit as good. And it's so far for me. The Ford Lightning, here it is. Here's the Lightning, which, boy, oh boy, talk about detailed conversations. I mean, I kind of run out of time talking on my channel each day of how this is a major fail. It is just being disclosed more and more on how Ford and how the governing bodies of our country are forcing others to go electric, and people don't want it. They just don't want it. I mean, it's incredible on the news stories I'm reading. And I'm just telling you, some people probably own these trucks and say it's the best damn truck I've ever owned. I'm not going to disagree that you've got a great vehicle here, but the challenge is people just aren't really buying in to the all-electric vehicle. That's the challenge. I think they've gone through their base of people that wanted these things, and they've run out of them. And here's another thing. My Jeep Gladiator, my first Jeep Gladiator was a Rubicon package, and never knowing the Mojave package would really be the better package, because I always thought the Rubicon was the baddest ass, best overall, good looking riding vehicle, and how wrong I was. And I don't think the Mojave package was available because I got mine in 2020 May So it's a brand new right out of the gate. I think the Mojave came out the following year. But the way this Mojave suspension is set up, it is totally different from the Rubicon. So anybody that's really more of the over-the-road using their Jeep, I highly recommend the Mojave. The Rubicon is too stiff. The Rubicon's a much stiffer ride, and this Mojave is such a really comfortable, confident highway vehicle where 75, 80 mile an hour speeds like nothing. And it doesn't have as much as a walk, it kind of seems like my other Jeeps have had. So once again, you'll be out there shopping around. In all sincerity, I don't even know, can you get the Mojave package in the Wrangler edition, which is just the SUV, versus does it only come in the Gladiator package? And I just really do love this vehicle. My kid does too. And you get the oil change this thing. Yeah. I mean, that thing's never had an oil change. Has 8,000 miles. Somebody like, are you crazy? Yeah, and so then here's the Ford Power Boost over here, which I talked about earlier. My friend's saying you never drive it. Well, because I want to put 20,000 miles on it. I mean, I just don't want to have this thing instantly have a ton of miles. So this here, a whole different setup, even for me, learning experience. I let go of my Ford Raptor for this. I'm sure so many people would be like, I just can't believe you get a Ford Raptor. But this vehicle here has the electric motor that is connected to the engine between the transmission. So you basically, if my understanding is, you have, I believe, the engine, an electric motor, and then a transmission that then connects to your drive line. And the power of this truck is incredible. I mean, the power of this truck is just phenomenal. It's a very comfortable truck. And once again, it just has the deployable steps here. Very expensive, though. I mean, this is where you kind of start to just scratch your head. Like I talked about yesterday, is, you know, what's going on with Ford, where it's just a constant raise of prices. All right. Kind of get in the office here. I know a lot of kind of walk around, but you know what? I'm just trying to share with others that the attention to detail, if you really take the time, for like on my Triumph motorcycle here, I put these rear bags on. I just love those rear bags. Very easy to remove, and it has a really cool look and themed that bike. I really want to ride that bike, but I just live on the road every day. So for me, I live on the road and do 150, 200 mile days to come home and then want to get on a motorcycle and do the same thing. And so many years ago, that was such a challenge for me because I really worked 6-7 days a week. And to really, on the weekend, get up there, for me to want to go ride a motorcycle, just like, I'm tired of riding around. I just don't want to be on the roads. So that's been a challenge for many years of me living on the road just to get back on the road again. So, wow, it's nice up here. Here's all the dogs. There's all my boxes. Yesterday, I was thinking, man, I should get out my Mustang. You know, I think I had 13 vehicles. I didn't count right. So I think I had 13 vehicles. But you know what I wanted to show you was my Sonic Performance Boat. I don't even know where to put that. Where'd that go? That's so bad. Anymore. I have so much. I mean, this is no. If you look at this, is just the last 10 years of cars. So you might have 30 years of vehicles, boxes, and man, I'm so disappointed because I had a really cool thing to show you guys this morning, and now my whole brain has just gone blip. I have no idea where it is, and even I found it by accident in my area, and it's just so disappointing that now I don't have it. And it was a whole brochure. Here it is. Right here it is. Okay, just too much stuff, man. Sorry. Everyone's watching my channel. I'm sure, like, Jesus Christ, man. It gets to be long channels. You know, how long can we really sit here and watch you yabba dabba do? And I get all that. I really do. But I'm just trying. It's not easy to kind of go into depth and share with everybody all this information. So the Mustang, I was saying to myself, I can't even remember. Oh, here it is. So 2019 GT. 2019 GT, what's it called? The orange furry premium package. All right. That car there was a base price of $39,355. Can you see that? I can't. I mean, for me, very challenging. $39,355. All right. Total price was what? 52. I can't even see it. Sorry. 52,220. All right. 2019. But that was the premium package. Active exhaust, MagneRide. This car had a lot of the GT performance package. All right. 2024 new Mustang. Base price 41. Can you see it? Sorry, everybody out there. It's hard to see where I'm pointing this thing, but it's 41,995. I think that's it right there. Okay. Total price is 50. All right. So that car that I just bought is actually $2,000. Well, it's really like $1,500, I guess. I don't know. 57.75 plus 52,220. It's $1,500 difference in price. So the 24 isn't really more money, but here's the thing. The 2019 had leather seats. The 2019 had the 10-speed automatic transmission. It had the MagneRide. So in that 2020 or 2019, you can add, the paint was $495 extra, okay? On the Vapor Blue, there was no extra charge in that. And then I have here the 10-speed automatic, which that was $1,595. And then I have the higher-end speaker system in it, so that's $895. And then I had the MagneRide, that's $1,695. So there's $4,680 more of options on that 2019 car. Then, so really, to think it through, if you really take that and I add that to this 52,220, so 4680 plus 52,220, 4680 plus 52,220. So, no, what the hell? I just can't. I can't. My brain's dead. So 56.8, 57 grand. So at the end of the day, the new Mustang option out the same way would be really conservative 6 grand more. And I didn't even, So, and the delivery back then was $1,000. Now it's $1,500. All right. So since 2019 to 2024, that Mustang is 6 grand more. So, I mean, and once again, reminds my channel. I don't think anybody here is like, well, like that's an eye. You're like, oh, really? That's hard to believe. I think most people are like, okay, here we go. Here go to 1997, 1998. I grew up with the boats, okay? And this is a boat. That's the boat. Believe it or not, that brochure, that boat is what I bought. That's not my boat. That's not any person I know on the boat. My wife would be like, who's that? Yeah, but who's that? Oh, that's not my boat. That's a brochure. It's a brochure with all the details of what this thing has. And it's just incredible. I look at this boat. This was a 260 Sonic. Sonic is no longer in business. I had a custom-built boat, meaning I factory ordered that boat. They were based out of the southern Florida area back in 1998. And I went down in like the spring and picked this boat up. But what's really cool about this boat is you had the different power options, okay? And you had the 500 HP, which I think I got, I don't know, I can't remember, but anyways, it's 5. I didn't get the supercharged setup. So, or did I? I don't even know. I mean, in reality, see, that's what I'm saying. I have to get the bill of sale out. It wasn't, but this is what I got. This thing, this motor, it was a 502 motor, big block, if I remember right. That motor, that's what that motor looked like in my boat. That thing was such a badass freaking boat. And to this day, I sincerely regret ever selling that boat. And that was a boat that I had. And that boat, okay, this is what I have right here. So it wasn't supercharged. So this is how the boat motor looked in that boat. and that thing was so it was carbureted. That was an 80-mile-an-hour boat. Oh my gosh! I mean, and like I say, to this date, I'm like, wow, I should never have sold that frickin' boat. But it's showing here the 454. I thought it was the 502. So I'm saying 450. Just so much information. But it's attention to detail. That boat there, it was a really quality, good built boat. And what I sell for that, you know what? It was actually when I was in the public telephone business, and it was the election year 2000 where the lights turned off. Does anyone remember the Al Gore, George Bush fiasco when it was a challenge of who won? I mean, it cracks me up how we live in today's age where this guy named Donald Trump's being drugged through the courts because he contested the election. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to get all into that deep conversation, but it goes on all the time. I mean, Al Gore and George Bush in 2000, the country came to a grinding halt because we didn't know who won the presidency. And I'm not lying to you. Overnight, my public telephone business back in 2000, which was being challenged by the cell phone industry, slowly starting to gain momentum, the business overnight dropped by 30%. It was the weirdest thing in the world. So it's like, but why? Why did people, people just don't realize, especially younger, that just takes one little thing and it gets rattled very quickly. And so, yeah, the attention to detail, right? Yeah, so anyways, this past morning, or yesterday, I just thought, yeah, let's talk about the detail. And isn't that what it's all about? And that's what happens to my YouTube channel a lot. People reach out and, hey, one question I've had so many times at Harley-Davidson, Chromeworks, slip-on mufflers, I've had so many other people reach out like, what's the part number of that thing? I'm like, I have no idea. Just call your selling dealer and say you want the Chromeworks exhaust that was used on the brand new CVO Dark Platinum motorcycle. And so, yeah, but anyways, the whole point is we all like to get the detail, but more than ever, it's really kind of, it's ironic to where we are in today's society and life because we have so much information for all the detail of so many things, but yet for you or I to figure out what's really going on in the world is challenging. For you to hear information, read information, it's more challenging to kind of really digest. And then, as we know, it turns into the social media machine of what there's an agenda for. And you try to kind of separate yourself from what the details that you read seem to be factual. It's so funny. So I'm closing the barn doors with my barn in here right now. That's funny. I said, no, back up. So, the kid will walk out and be like, Dad, I can't get in the barn. I'm like, right, you can't get in the barn. So, anyways, I don't know what to do today. It's too much, man. I know, everybody watch my channel like, how the hell do you just, it's just about drive you nutty. It's tough being me. So, yeah, what do you, it just gets too down. It's getting too deep. I'm not going to go into it. Really weird what's going on. YouTube, and here's the thing. On YouTube, if you start kind of really getting radical, but it kind of stumps me because Fox News and all these other personalities gets on YouTube all the time. You see this radical thoughts, but yet I get these lessons of how you got to be careful on what you say on your YouTube channel. I'm not lying to you. There was a whole message to me, I'm sure it's sending a lot of people, on a tutorial of how not to get yourself in trouble on YouTube. But I think, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We watch Fox News, you watch MSNBC, you see all these videos of all these primetime media giants that just produce the hate of the hate of the hate. And they're going to, then for me, I make some slur or comment, and all of a sudden I get a strike against me. It's so ridiculous. It really is. You want to just tell people, hey, this is kind of what I see. What do you see? And borderline, it turns into, we may just shut your channel down. Be unbelievable where we live, where we are, man. But anyways, we're going to keep it at that. And as always, I enjoy making my channel. I enjoy sharing my craziness of who I am. And does the Ram TRX thing play out? I don't know. I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I tell you what, I was just talking about it here a second ago. It's so disappointing. So my friend Chris went to Patriot Harley. He claims, this is what he told me. No, how factual it is, I don't know, but he told me this. They have 18 CVOs sitting at their dealership. If you watched my video the other day, I mean, driving around, and I'm showing you like 20 of the higher end built Broncos sitting at a Ford dealership. I mean, I think that the UAW. So here I got to keep on going. It's gonna be a long video, but whatever. So UAW apparently has struck a deal with Ford. Should the union agree with it, it's a 25% pay increase. Other conditions that are going to help these UAW people. The average pay will be $40 an hour. Blah blah blah. And I just think, wow, Ford, Jim Farley, you're going too fast. You're going too fast. You have flooded the market with all your dealerships again with cars. You have to start giving away again. No doubt in my mind. They're going to have to start giving cars away. So for you, if you're smart, you're going to just sit it out. Sit it out. The fire sale is coming. I mean, I hate to be the guy to try to be the YouTuber, the gloom and doom. There's no way. There's just no way. I'm just seeing it. I am now seeing it really happen. It really has happened. What I hear from so many people now is a guy wanted to buy that, bank wouldn't buy him. Couldn't get the deal done. So, whole new world, and so disappointed in Harley Davidson. What are they doing? What is Harley Davidson doing? Breakouts. Breakouts. It's supposed to be a small. Patriot Harley has like 6 or 8 of those things. I'm like, what is going on? I think we all know what's going on. I personally think this is September of 2007 where everybody started just, it's called the lights turn off. Who knows? All right, everybody, that's it. Long video. Appreciate everybody watching me. And what's up next? What are we doing next? Yeah, the Ram TRX team play out? I don't think it will. Do I really want to get rid of those Hellcats? No, I don't. And yeah, I'm strategizing on how that ain't going to happen. We'll see how it plays out. Hey, thanks for watching. God bless. Stay safe. Have a great day. And stay tuned for more adventures.